We have a reading for you about somebody who has decided to like skip out on the difficult conversation, somebody who didn't really want to be honest with you about what was going on. And I feel like this lesson learned could be applied to your side of things, but I also am hopeful that this is the person who's ghosting learning a lesson. We have somebody else involved, and it seems like they didn't really want to be honest with you about the established relationship they were in or the amount of influence that a friend or family member had over their decisions with you. So let's call on spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day, a wonderful start to your weekend. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. You can find that in the description box along with more information on how to become a member, as well as how to find my Etsy page if you are interested in a homemade soy candle. Hello, August. How are you doing today? All right, let's dive in. I think we will start with the noisy tarot. What else do we have? Eight of Swords, Two of Swords, Three of Pentacles. There it is, right out the gate. So this is someone who has cut things off with you, or maybe they started a fight with you because they know if things get a little bit more in depth between the two of you, that it could be problematic, that the person they're in a relationship with would find out about you, or you would find out about the other relationship, or that a family member or friend who is very judgmental would find out. But secrecy seems to be the biggest impetus or the biggest like catalyst here. How you doing, Razia? I hope you're having a good day. So we have the Ten of Wands in the reverse, Justice in the reverse, and the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, I think this is someone who's in a relationship. They've made a decision that overwhelms the situation they're in, makes them feel like they have to constantly be on their toes, or it made them feel that way. And in order to preserve this connection, it could be platonic, but I think for many of you, this is a person who was in a relationship and they started talking to you, or got involved with you in some way. And they feel like they need to be taking action to protect the relationship. So they want to be seen as the Six of Wands. This is someone who cares a lot about their reputation, and they feel like it's possible that things could resurface with you. So they are a little bit nervous that it could cause problems for that relationship, the one that they're trying to protect. Hello, James. How are you doing? So we have Judgment, Ten of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. So I had to make a decision. I had to end the flirtation with you, or I had to stop seeing you because it could cause a problem with the thing that had been more established, with that relationship that they had already built. So they decide to no longer invest and they ghost. King of Pentacles in the reverse, Five of Wands in the reverse, and the Sun in the reverse. So they feel like they've been able to get out of this connection with you in just the right amount of time. I've avoided an argument. I've avoided being discovered. I've been able to, you know, like have my cake and eat it too. I think they might be wrong. I think there might be some, like a scorpion tail. There's something else that's about to come back around. Maybe they run into you while they're with this partner of theirs. But the Ace of Cups in the reverse and the Devil in the reverse is also telling me this rejection is protection for you, because the person that you were dealing with didn't want to be honest about the fact that they were already in a relationship. Didn't want to be honest about the fact that they were not really being honest with you about who they are or what they were dealing with. Hello, Rachel. How's it going? Hey, Rick, try that one more time. Good morning to you, Rick. Try that one more time, but write good morning, Carmen. I believe in you. I know you can do it. I've asked you multiple times, so please don't call me that, okay? So let's see what else we've got. Ooh, you haven't seen this one yet. This is the Romani Tarot. I'm very excited. It's beautiful as far as the art. So just to give you a little peek. Yes, I think you're probably right about that, James. It's freeing to not have to worry about those things, isn't it? So we have the Knight of Shivs or the Knight of Knives, but it comes through in the reverse. That's that dishonesty, right? Holding back a truth, not wanting to divulge the real reason why they walked away. That's why they had to use the ghosting technique, right? If you have respect for someone, you let them know what's going on. There's no chemistry, or I'm moving away, or I've decided that I need to focus on something else, or I've got too much going on in my family. No, this person, maybe they started a fight with you and then they dipped. 6 of Shivs or 6 of Knives in the reverse. I love that they have it in the parentheticals too. That's funny. I'm not going to let you know, but I've already decided I have to walk away. I've already decided that this has to be, ended. But if you ask too many questions, then I might feel uncomfortable. Hello, Danny. Hello, Celia Gray. How are you doing? Hello, Tandy. Hello, Redbeard. Yes, thank you, Rachel. I would appreciate that. Hello, how's it going? Ooh, let me make sure I say your name right. Is it Kelly? I hope you're having a good one. Hello, Gracie. Hello, 704. I would agree. Hello, Nick. I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Tammy. Yes, don't even start them, right, James? So we have the Devil. I haven't seen this yet. But the Devil's in the reverse, just like the last one was. And we also have the 9 of Bowlers, which is the 9 of Wheels. Again, helping me out with the parentheses there. So this is a person who seems to be pretty consistently looking to be involved with multiple people. And they hide the fact that they're in a relationship. So there's this ability to compartmentalize. There is an ability to justify their actions, even though they would be mad if someone treated them the way that they had treated you, right? Oh, that French toast was delicious. I'm gonna have to have that again. Hello, Theodora. How are you doing? Hello, B. Ten of Shivs or the Ten of Knives in the reverse, and the Sun. That's a beautiful card. So again, the message here, I love that too because the Sun is clarifying the Sun in the reverse. The message here is you are like Keanu Reeves' character, Neo, where you're dodging a bullet, okay? Because this is somebody that may be able to put out that happy, loving energy, but in the reality of things, when you actually get to know them, you see that this is somebody who has lied about a whole part of their life. Thank you, Gracie. Let me add that for you. Will I end up with J? Or a new man? By year end. I've added that for you. Thank you, Gracie. You're funny, Rachel. Ella Convict, how are you doing? Oh, I didn't read your comment. Was it bad? No, honey, that's not what we do here. Keep it moving. You've been timed out for 300 seconds by Rachel, and she's nicer than I am. I probably would have timed you out for longer. That's not what we're here for, and the internet is vast, and you have so many choices if that's what you're looking for, okay? Tammy, this is a general reading. I do that for the first 30 to 35 minutes. You may have noticed that, well, you would probably read it as Pearl, had made a super chat, and so when people do a super chat or donate a membership to somebody else in the live chat, then I add their name to a list, and at that like 35-minute mark, I dive into personal questions. But the general is a reading about somebody who hid a relationship and then ghosted the third party without even letting them know that they were a third party. Most likely you are the person that would be considered a third party, but you were unknowing. You didn't realize there were other connections involved, right? So we have the Queen of Shivs or the Knives. Beautiful card. And wow, I don't know how to say that. Ten of Koshis. I hope I'm saying that right. Koshes. And then in parentheses it says staves. So that would be like the Ten of Wands. Yeah. So I'm feeling overwhelmed because you might figure out my secret, or you might put at risk the other relationship that I've been developing or curating. I don't want that to mix, so I have to end things with you. Thank you, Flower. How we doing? Guidance. Having... We'll take a look at that too. How to soothe myself. I'm sending you a big old hug, Flower. And if any of you in the live chat can send some positive healing energy towards Flower, I would appreciate that. Thank you, Cedar Gray. Hello, Susan. I hope you're doing well. So we have the King of Koshis or King of Staves, King of Wands, and the Page of Bowlers or the Page of Wheels. So we have this, which would be Pentacles, right? We have this stern looking dude. And this is the, I'm not going to tell you what's going on, right? Things are done. That's just how it is. Maybe they block you. I'm not going to invest any further with you. Things are done. The universe wants you to know that this is for your own protection, because you're dealing with somebody who doesn't seem to really want to understand the reality of the situation. That's the Hermit card, by the way. So they're the type of person who wants to be perceived as intelligent, but they don't do the inner work. They don't seek to heal from those situations. They hid something from you, and another reason we have the Hermit in the reverse is they were worried you were about to find out. Maybe you find out that I'm actually in a relationship. Hello, Lady Sky. How are you doing? Oh, you all are so sweet. Thank you for being kind to Flower. Hello, is it Kuzi? I hope I'm saying the name right. Welcome. Aw, I love it. We've got the Two of Bowlers, or the Two of Wheels, and you can see the similarity with some of the Two of Pentacles cards out there. You're going to get things sorted. Yes, there might be a little bit of frustration or even a little bit of concern because this person has made a very hasty exit or not really told you what was going on. But I feel like this enables you to move on and meet somebody who's going to be more open with you, more vulnerable, and not be hiding a relationship on the side. So we have the Four of Staves or Four of Koshis in the reverse. This is somebody that would have pretended that they were interested in a relationship with you, but the reality is they were just after that physical intimacy, or they were just after that external gratification. Make me feel wanted, right? Three of Shivs, or the Three of Knives. Wow. The King of Shivs, or King of Knives, in the reverse. This is why I said, wow. It's clarifying the King of Swords, or sorry, the Queen of Swords. So if there is a divine counterpart set that is likely to be X's, it would be the King and Queen of Swords, right? I think even though they ghosted you and walked away and caused some heartbreak for you, and they did so at a specific time to avoid an issue in their other relationship, the relationship they've been in, I think there's still going to be an issue here. I think they have, it's like they're over here like, okay, good, I did that just in time. Great, no problems for me. I think it's still going to be a problem. I think they're going to run into you, or something's going to be said, or maybe, you know, their child was witness to you seeing them at some point. I don't think that they are in the clear, even though they feel like they are. Hello, Jolene. How are you doing? Hello, Nayla. I hope you're having a good weekend. A Temple of Set. Interesting. This is still the general. We're at 19 minutes and 23 seconds. So probably about another 16 minutes or so of the general. And this is the Stained Glass Tarot. Hello, Christina. How are you doing today? Jolene, I hope your day improves. I'm sorry to hear that. And thank you, Kelly. We have the King of Cups in the reverse and the King of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. So actually what I'm picturing in my mind is not so much that all three of you are in the same place, but more so that there are two people who were both dating this King of Pentacles in the reverse, the King of Swords in the reverse, right? The person who lied. They're not going to be around, but the two people that they were dating are going to run into each other and somehow discover that they have this King of Swords in the reverse in common. So I don't know why I'm fixated on this picture of like, oh, I guess, was there a show? Oh, what was it called? I think it was called Why Women Kill. And there was a wife who went to a diner to learn more about the mistress that her husband was pursuing. But in my mind, it's like there's two people in the same restaurant or two people, you know, in the same grocery store. And one is talking about the other. And the one in the relationship is basically like, wait, why are you talking about that person? That's my person. There's something like that. It's serendipitous where, you know, maybe this King of Swords in the reverse is like, oh, well, I'm in the clear. There's nothing to worry about. I managed that mischief in the right amount of time. But the world works in mysterious ways. And we have this timing and serendipity that allows for these two to run into each other. And maybe you would prefer not to talk to this person, but the point is that existing relationship, they were trying to salvage that. And it doesn't seem like they really deserve that person who has been faithful and consistent and honest with them, and they don't get that same energy back, right? Hello, Louise. How are you doing today? Or was it a candlestick? Hello, Chrissy. I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Earth Angel. How are you doing? We have the Tower, the Queen of Cups in the reverse, and the King of Swords. What they were trying to avoid is now going to happen anyways. The Tower is clarifying the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is about heartbreak and betrayal. The Tower, as you can see with the fire, this is like destruction of the foundation they had been trying to protect. But they didn't treasure that. They didn't respect the partner that they were with. They might think that that was love, what they were doing, but like I said, they compartmentalized or they justified their actions even though they were not treating this person the way that they should. I agree, Kelly, and you're very welcome here. Oh, you deserve better than that, Jolene. Sending you a hug. Hello, Burning Mill. I can't take a shower, I'm a mill. I'm sorry if you're not trying to be funny, but it made me giggle. So we have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. They decided to ghost you, or they decided to not invest in you because they wanted to protect the relationship they already had, but their selfishness is already like basically tainted that, or the seed was planted to cause issues in that relationship when they chose to step out on it and be unfaithful. So that lie that they worked to protect, they lied more to protect that original lie. It's all starting to fall. Hello, Stephen. Hello, PSN. How are you doing? We've got the Ace of Cups in the reverse, Eight of Wands, and the Hierophant. Now I know the truth, and with the Eight of Wands, that's fast-moving energy. Isn't that a beautiful card? This is saying, you know, on a dime, my emotions for this King of Swords, the person that I thought I could trust because I was in a relationship with them, it comes crashing down because I find out from somebody else We could argue that it would be like a hey girl or hey girly text. I think it's in person for most of you, but you realize we have someone in common, and I thought that I was in a committed relationship with them. So what was it that they told you, or how did they approach you? This conversation happens, and the liar, the King of Swords in the reverse, is unaware. They feel like they're in safe territory with that Six of Swords. They're like, no, I heard he left. Everything's fine. There's no way anyone would ever figure me out. And I've been able to avoid an ending in this relationship by, you know, just like ending that third party situation. I don't have anything to worry about. Au contraire. They do have problems. Hello, Delphine. How are you doing? Yes, thank you for liking and subscribing. That means the world to me. Hello, Dips. How you doing today? Let me add that for you. Hello, Witch King. Hello, is it Ari? I hope I said that right. Oh, and I can't remember who, but somebody asked why it's always dark in my room. I have, like, things hanging over my windows. Because I like to work by candlelight, so it's a mood, okay, you guys? I hope you are doing well. So we have, they will never compare to you. Ooh. I can't go another day without you. I'm sorry I hurt you. I didn't realize what I had until it was gone. So this all sounds romantic, right? Like nothing compares to you. You're the cat's meow. I can't go on without you. But I'm gonna have to like interject and say, these are things this King of Swords in the reverse, who does not have to be a man, by the way, they're going to say this to you after they lose their other relationship. So there's this strange ghosting that happens. They start a fight or they just disappear and block you. And you're like left wondering, what did I do? How did you react that way? I don't understand. And then something else happens with the existing relationship. The partner that they were trying to hide from you finds out that they were cheating. And that King of Swords in the reverse decides, oh, that's okay. Maybe I can just run right back over to that person that I ghosted. I'm sorry I hurt you. I didn't realize what I had until it was gone. And now I want it back. Because they lost the other person. I ran because I wasn't ready for you. They're coming through as quite manipulative. And I feel like they're underestimating your power of intuition. Yes, cue the old Sinead O'Connor song, exactly. Thank you, Gracie. Let me add that for you. Is it S or J? Who's going through heartbreak over me? ¿Por qué no los dos? Sorry. But realistically, though, it could be both. We shall find out. I get it, Rachel. You have a giant squishy hammer. What time are we at? We're just about to be at 30 minutes. So we have, I'm in love with you. I don't know how to handle my emotions right now. And every time my phone rings, I hope it's you. I think they're going to come back around and make all of these loving comments and tell you that they've been miserable without you because the other relationship crumbles. They don't want to be alone. They fear being alone. Being alone tells them that they are not wanted, and that is something that really gets under their skin. Being alone is something that makes them feel unworthy, as opposed to acknowledging that that time is actually really important. When you're single, especially right after a breakup, you have this emotion that you can transmute into action, that you can use to change your life. You can pivot, you can move away, you can find a new social environment, you can change your habits. But this is someone who wants to be in a relationship all the time, even though they don't necessarily want to be committed or faithful. I've been manifesting you, and I'm afraid that I lost you forever. Oh, me? You thought you lost me forever? Was that because you decided to just disappear and not tell me at all what was going on? Oh yeah, I guess you did lose me forever. This is someone who's going to try everything they possibly can to say these flowery, lovely things to you to get you back after they were so quick to discard you and not tell you what was going on, because they don't want to be alone and they've lost that other person. Yes, pride and ego. Hello, Mac. How are you doing? All right, let's get a few from the Gilded Reverie. I don't blame you, Raziel. Sometimes it's you've already given them enough patience and enough time, enough chances. Yeah, this is someone who goes from connection to connection. I used to be a serial monogamist. I'm not saying that I didn't have any time in between relationships, but it wasn't enough. And then what ends up happening is you retain some resentment or baggage, as people like to refer to it, and that impacts your ability to approach that new person that you're falling in love with, whether or not you can actually do it in an honest and vulnerable way. Vulnerable in a good way, right? This is somebody who they don't want to be alone, they mess things up with you, and then they end up coming right back to you. So the question on your mind is, would they actually be loyal if they come back and they say all these beautiful things? And I think the answer is no, they don't know how to be faithful. Hello, Anne. Thank you for the tip. Any insight on Pierce? Is he my soulmate? I've added that for you. Thank you, Anne. So the bridges in that first card, that's about connections. They're going to pursue whatever they can until they find someone who's willing to be faithful to them, because they don't want to be in an open relationship. They want someone who's faithful to them, even though they can't offer that faithfulness or that fidelity to someone else. Because look, if you choose polyamory, I ain't gonna judge. But you do it in a way that is honest with your partner, right? This is someone who is choosing to be dishonest about whether or not they are also being faithful. And that conversation happens between the two different people that they were with, or that discovery happens for the person that they were dating, and that relationship ends and they feel, I can just come right back to you. You still love me, right? And this bear is here to remind you that you deserve better. that unlike this person who ghosted you, you don't require somebody telling you that you're attractive or lovable to know that you are deserving of love. You don't need that. You have a respect for the time that you need to be by yourself in order to let go of those energies, right? Thank you, Dips. I've added that for you. What else do we have? Well, I see things getting better for you. I'm so glad you're taking some time for yourself too, Flower. Hello, Rev. How are you doing? We've got the mountain, the bouquet, and the garden. The thing is, you walk away from this person that you know is not trustworthy because you love yourself. You might be looking at that bouquet and thinking, oh, who's bringing me flowers? Who's going to tell me how amazing I am? You are. That bouquet is there because you know what you deserve. The way you treat yourself is an advertisement or a big billboard for everyone around you that says, I don't take that kind of treatment. That's not something I'm going to tolerate. I respect myself. I know my value. I know what I bring to the table. So I'm not going to be in that kind of connection. And the others around you or that social community, they realize that's somebody who knows their value. They're not going to be a side piece, or they're not interested in that like half, I think YouTube gets mad if I say that, ASS kind of love, right? You want the real stuff. I have missed my 35-minute marker, so I got to dive into those personal questions. But thank you for liking that general reading. Let's dive in. We've got Gracie up first, and I'm going to pair Gracie's second super chat with the first one. Thank you to those of you that also super chatted that are patient with me for doing that. And this is the Pulp Tarot. So for Gracie, will I end up with Jay? I'm going to separate it into two questions. Will Gracie end up with Jay? As of right now, the answer is no. I say as of right now because this has dependencies, right? There's things yet to be determined on Jay's side, whether or not I'm going to heal, whether or not I'm going to work through the fear or the problems that I have that prevent me from being in that relationship with you. Can I do it? At this juncture, the universe is saying, no, the intuition is still in its infancy. There is still a need to develop or grow. And so there is insecurity and doubt. But there is a chance for Jay to change and grow and go through probably like a dark night of the soul and go from a Queen of Wands in the reverse to a King of Wands. Notice with the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, we have someone who's ignoring their intuition. But with the King of Wands, that improved energy, we have the Seven of Cups in the reverse. This is confusion. So we have clarity, trusting one's intuition, and that is indicative of somebody that's gone through that spiritual awakening. If he pulls that off, then you end up with Jay. As of right now, the way things are tracking, it seems less likely that he will make it to that King of Wands energy and that he will stay in that Queen of Wands in the reverse energy, not really leveraging that intuition. So will Gracie end up with a new man by the end of the year? there are also dependencies on your side for this. If you are focused on the connection with Jay, you will be kind of sending out little messages to people like, I'm not available. I'm still thinking about this other person. If you, on the other hand, look at this as something that taught you a lot about yourself, but maybe is not the right path for you, and you focus your energy elsewhere and on your work, then yes, there's somebody else that comes into the picture. But right now you have a block up, and it's like you only want to see something work out for Jay. If that goes away, then you end up connecting with somebody else around the end of the year. So you have agency, right? You have free will. Did I miss saying hello to somebody? I think we're good. So we also have, is it S or J who's going through heartbreak over me? Is S going through heartbreak over Gracie? Yes. That doesn't look like fun. So yes, S is going through heartbreak. Feeling like there was something that they should have done differently. Hashtag regret. And is Jay going through heartbreak over Gracie? No. We're ignoring our intuition, remember. That Nine of Pentacles was in the reverse. We have a need to focus on the emotional side, but Jay is like, la 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 la. I don't want to think about what I've lost or what has ended or what has changed. So as the healing actually becomes a focus for Jay, then the heartbreak will set in. But right now it's like I'm distracting myself. I'm looking for other things to do with my time so I don't have to think about that. So let's see what we've got for Flower. This is the Shadowscapes Tarot. What guidance does Flower need for today, please? What guidance does Flower need? Knight of Wands, Ace of Cups in the reverse. You are still a powerful, bold, incredible person. And yes, there are difficult times. There are things that happen that make us question ourselves or make us wonder if, you know, we've had a misstep. But I see you focusing on the right things. We have the Devil in the reverse. The important thing here is to not get caught up in second-guessing yourself. Embrace your intuition, because I feel like there is this tendency to have a flash of very on-point intuition, but then you doubt it. And you have this ability to work on that, to trust yourself more. With the Moon, I do feel like your intuition is quite powerful, but it's the doubting that comes afterwards that causes issues for you. And I'm not saying that you're never going to be wrong. I'm simply saying you have to have more faith in what your intuition is telling you. You're going to get confirmation of something that is currently bothering you. Confirmation that you took the right action. So do a puzzle, or go for an adventure, or watch the birds along a creek bed. Get in nature or do something that is helpful for you to reconnect and ground, because the biggest issues tend to come when you are doubting that intuition. And Lucas seems to be done. Is he really? No. Nine of Swords in the reverse, the Knight of Cups. He is wounded. He is upset, I believe, about multiple things, but he still carries feelings for you with that Knight of Cups. He still thinks about what could potentially happen, right? That cup is just out of reach, but he's still looking at it. So how to soothe myself for Flower. How can Flower soothe herself? Five of Pentacles in the reverse, Seven of Wands, Ten of Swords. Remind yourself that endings are also beginnings. Remind yourself that you are protected and that things that we sometimes assume are completely done and over with have a way of coming back around. And you're still alive. There's still a lot left out there for you. You will be guided. You are protected. And if things are meant to be, they will be. But having that faith and that confidence in yourself is crucial right now. And I do feel like nature plays a big part in your healing. So let's see what we've got for dips. And thank you everyone for sending lovely caring energy towards Flower or anybody else in the live chat. It's one of the reasons I do what I do, and I really appreciate that. Hello, Nayla. What's coming for me in the following days? I've added that for you. Thank you. So for dips, we're going to go with the Spellcaster's Tarot. I'm so glad. That's where you need to be, Flower. You're doing what you need to. Queen cheese. All right, so what are Dip's thoughts today? We have the High Priestess in the reverse, King of Swords in the reverse, and the Devil. I see you contemplating somebody who has been dishonest, somebody who feels like they are right even when they are wrong. That's why it's so important for us to be forgiving of ourselves and forgiving of others. There are going to be times where you look back on a situation, you're like, I think I maybe did that wrong. I maybe could have done that differently. But I feel like this is someone who has lied. Maybe you gave them the benefit of the doubt. This person has lied and caused some damage. I feel like this would be like a long-term connection or something that could have been long-term. But there was a deliberate omission or a misrepresentation that caused an issue. Four of Pentacles in the reverse and the Lovers. So I see you deliberating over a choice. Whether to continue to connect with this person. Because this is somebody who they like should have known better how they were connecting with you. We have Page of Wands and the Six of Wands in the reverse. So I feel like the way you're approaching this is, I gave you this chance, I asked you about something, and then it's like you kind of doubled down or you didn't really want to be forthcoming about what was going on there. Hello, Trey. How are you doing? Oh, I hope that's not true. Sending you healing energy. And why does Dips feel so blessed? Because you love yourself. There are a lot of people out there that would say, of course I love myself. But I feel like you love to love yourself. And that's not in like a self-absorbed kind of way. I feel like you know what's important to do for yourself to approach things in the right way. You're not going to sell yourself short or allow yourself to stay in a situation that is unhealthy or encourages you to like slide backwards into old habits. This is the most important card for you today. That Ace of Cups is the way you nurture yourself. You come through with the Hierophant energy. You have the ability to be a catalyst for others around you because of the way that you treat yourself. A balance, right? You still understand that you could be wrong. You still want to make sure that you are listening, right? You're not the type to just want to listen to your own voice. You want to learn from others as well. So you are able to identify inconsistencies or lies. You know that you are fallible, but you love yourself. So there are people around you that can get stuck in a fake reality or believing things about themselves that aren't true. And then you come along and you help them to see what's actually real. You wake them up. So I respect you immensely for that. Did I not write that down? I did not write that down. My bad, Pearl. Or Gracie, sorry about that. I can't write now either. How will I identify my King of Cups this year? Sorry about that. This year. I'm writing at the very bottom of the sheet. I made it work. Thank you for helping me figure that one out. All right, so Dips, I appreciate you, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Let's see what else we have. Anne would be up next. And then I have Nayla and Gracie. I think technically Gracie was before Nayla. So this is the Beginner's Tarot for Anne. Is there any insight on Pierce? For Anne, is there any insight on Pierce? Pierce is going through a breakthrough. There's like an epiphany happening here. What I'm seeing is a bridge crumbling, which bridges can often indicate connections. So we could have someone who felt like, I need to prioritize this relationship in my life to the detriment of another. So there could be a best friend or a family member that had gotten in the way between the two of you. Or there could just be someone who is overly influential in Pierce's life, because we have controlling and authoritarian. But Pierce is realizing, I am the captain of my own ship. I can drive my own car. I can make my own decisions. I want to feel like I belong. I want to feel like I am a part of something. But that doesn't mean that I have no agency. I can still make my own decisions, right? You are correct about that, Rachel. I would say, ooh. We're talking about the King of Cups, and the King of Cups comes out. Shivas. Yeah. Emotionally mature is one of the first things that I think of when I see the King of Cups in the upright. And so here we have it for Anne's reading in reference to Pierce as well. This is somebody who is realizing, I need to make my own decisions, and I need to make sure that I am not repeating the mistakes of someone else. So is this potentially someone who has been like a core contributor to the perception or the definition of love for Pierce? And now we have Pierce realizing, I think I need to like kind of adjust that a little bit, because the way I'm seeing it is like a book that somebody is writing notes in. Like, yeah, that's a great idea, and it's made me realize something else, right? So someone who has influenced Pierce's perception of love or how to approach love, it's like I'm questioning that now. Maybe I need to redefine that for myself. So is he Anne's soulmate? So you may define it as we each have one soulmate. And if you do, believe what you want to believe, I'm not here to tell you what to believe. But my personal opinion is that we have several soulmates in our lifetime. And it could be a platonic soulmate, and it could be a romantic soulmate. I believe you were placed in Pierce's life to be a catalyst, to point out, that's a problem right there. You forgot a piece. You didn't clean that corner up. And no, I don't think you're a maid. I don't think that you are bossy or anything like that. I think you are gracefully and subtly, or have shown something that needed to be worked on to Pierce. So in that way, I mean, I guess we could say you're more of a guide, or like a hermit for Pierce. But I don't know that I would say this is a... Oh, I just said I think you're the hermit. Ooh, okay. You've taught something to Pierce that is incredibly important for Pierce to understand what love really is or should be. So you, by virtue of not being around or pulling back your energy or saying something needs to change, you help Pierce grow. Could that be a twin flame? Maybe, but what's really coming through is you help inspire Pierce to be more of an individual and trust his own intuition, as opposed to relying on somebody else to help make those decisions in love. So you are helping him to grow. The question is, can he return the favor? Or is he the one who benefits from this connection? Because what I see here is a lot about what he needed to learn. And he learns it because you have a more complete understanding of yourself. So maybe it's more so that Pierce is helping you to realize the positive healing effect you have on others. But I don't know if he is like tall enough to ride this ride. It is up to him to make these changes from an emotional standpoint and step into that King of Cups energy and see whether or not he can be the kind of partner that you're deserving of, because the shoes are kind of big for him, right? He's gotta work on that. Hello, Dolores. How are you doing? Hello, Dino. I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Peter. So you were meant to be in each other's lives, but I don't know that I would say soulmate. I feel like you teach a very important lesson to him, and he shows you the kind of impact you have on others to help you to realize how important that is. But it's not meant to be about, what is it, self-immolation? When you set yourself on fire. You don't need to be selling yourself short on what you should have in a relationship because you want to help someone else. So learn more about yourself in terms of how you love and what you offer. That seems to be what you get from him. Oh, you're so welcome. Redbeard saying he's been wrong before. We all have. All right, let's see what we've got. I'm going to do Gracie since I received that super chat before Nayla. Nayla, thank you for your patience. How will I identify my King of Cups this year? How will Gracie identify the King of Cups this year? 10 of Pentacles, the Empress, the High Priestess, and the Ace of Wands. This is going to be someone who is very caring towards someone else or just like to people in general. But I feel mostly that this is somebody who is very caring towards a family member. They might have a child, or they might be like doting on a sibling, or very involved with their parents. But this is someone who is selfless. They are able to put somebody else's needs before their own. Not to their detriment, right? But you see this caring energy from them. And that's when you start to get particularly attracted to them. Oh yeah, of course. There are definitely questions I just simply don't do. But if it's about future energy, the thing to keep in mind is that the longer out we're looking, the more that could potentially change in the interim. So I try to make sure that I at least identify if there's multiple paths, because it depends on what you choose and what they choose, right? Anything else regarding this King of Cups? 9 of Pentacles and Page of Swords. There's something about this King of Cups in your future saying something that you have thought. And I mean like pretty much verbatim. And maybe it's just a passing like, hey, do you want to go grab a coffee? I think it's probably deeper than that. Maybe it's like a quote from your favorite author, or a reference from spiritual text. But there's something here that your King of Cups says, and it's like it's been taken from your soul, right? Or from your brain. All right, let's see what we have for Nayla. This is the Hocus Pocus Tarot. What is headed towards Nayla in the following days, or in the next few days? What can Nayla expect in the next few days, please? Transformation in the reverse. Justice. 3 of Swords, or 3 of Lightning in the reverse. 5 of Lightning, or 5 of Swords. And the 9 of Candles, or 9 of Wands in the reverse. There's someone who has, someone who has apologized, or someone who is about to apologize to you. But the apology is not accompanied by changed behavior. So there is something that is going to repeat itself. So I lied. I thought that, you know, I could just apologize and then lie again and everything would be fine. But we have somebody who sabotages a situation with you again. Somebody who, it's like the wound hasn't even fully healed and they add to it, right? So I see there being some contemplation over whether or not you want to keep this person in your life, because what is an apology if it doesn't result in changed behavior? I also see some communication that causes some instability. Oh, you're welcome, Gracie. Is it an ex or just a friend? This feels more like an ex. Ace of Potions, King of Pumpkins, or King of Pentacles in the reverse. So this would be somebody who struggles with stability. That could be financially, it could be job related, it could be living situation. But this is somebody who has a lot of chaotic energy around them. They apologize, but then they repeat that behavior. And what about the job situation? King of Wands in the reverse and the Master or the Devil. I feel like this job situation is concerning. So is this saying the boss is irritable? There's something about this offer that isn't quite right, so be cautious. Five of Potions in the reverse. The World in the reverse. I feel like there's a revolving door here. So that to me indicates that there's management that doesn't really know how to manage, or they're unfair, or they don't know how to inspire people to do their best work. So it could be micromanaging, or it could be somebody who's like extremely like hands off and like, oh, why didn't you do everything ever? What do you mean you need help? You should be able to run the entire business on your own. There's something here that I don't really like about that offer. All right. I think we are all good. I'm hungry, so I'm going to leave it there. Hello, love. How are you doing? Yes, good choice, Nayla. You trusted your intuition. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for hyping if you're able to. And I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.